A massive plot to revive a demon king, an impossible assassination, and, man, the truly tragic corruption of a lifelong friend? Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a huge turning point in our journey. We're breaking down Volume 4 of The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. We're stepping completely out of the shadows of the sanctuary and directly into the deceptive light of noble courts, brutal battlefields, and some pretty heart-wrenching betrayals. So grab your notes and let's just get right into it. 50,000. Let that sink in for a second. That is the exact number of human souls required to produce just a single fruit of life. This isn't just some grim statistic we're throwing around. It's literally the horrifying key to reviving the Demon King. The sheer scale of the sacrifice required here is, well, it's almost impossible to comprehend.
The true gravity of this whole situation really hits you when the Alam Karla in the sanctuary reveals this deeply guarded secret. For Lug, it's like a giant puzzle suddenly snapping together. It makes perfect, terrifying sense. The demons aren't just attacking random, isolated villages for fun. No, they are specifically targeting massive, bustling cities for one singular purpose: harvesting mortal spirits on a massive industrial scale.
Section 1. A Demon's Deception.
Now that Lug knows exactly what's at stake globally, the battlefield drastically shifts. We're leaving the grand halls of the sanctuary and stepping into the treacherous noble courts of the Alvan Kingdom. And guys, a super dangerous psychological chess match is at play here. On one side, we've got Mina, the snake demon, just effortlessly mingling and living it up in human noble society. On the other side, Lug. His mind is absolutely racing, carefully calculating every single syllable she drops to uncover her real motives.
Mina actually has the nerve to boldly claim, "I want the Demon King to stay dead. I'm fine as I am." Right. Sure you are. But hey, Lug is the world's finest assassin for a reason, right? He sees right through those tiny fibs buried in her so-called truth. He figures out her actual, totally chilling goal. She wants to become the Demon King herself by taking out and absorbing all the other demons. She basically wants to be the absolute sole power in control. Talk about ambitious.
Section 2. The Royal Assassination Plot.
Mina's scheming isn't the only threat brewing in the capital either. The political rot within the human ranks is about to force Lu's hand in ways he definitely couldn't have predicted. See, Lu isn't just a holy knight fighting demons, he's still the heir to a clan of aristocratic assassins. And, noble society just wouldn't be complete without a healthy dose of backstabbing. Duke Romalung hands Lu an incredibly grim request. He has to assassinate the second prince of the Alvan Kingdom, Prince Rikla. The prince has essentially become a mindless, destructive puppet for Mina, and the Duke deems him completely beyond saving. This whole dangerous political maneuvering brings a brand new player onto the board, Nevin Romalung, the Duke's daughter. And what an entrance. She brilliantly tests Lug's observational skills right off the bat by disguising herself as a servant to deliver that assassination request. Lug, being Lug, sees through it in an instant, earning her immediate respect. She ends up joining him as a new attendant. She's incredibly capable, for sure, but as Luke sharply notes, she's also a highly dangerous weapon that requires extremely careful handling.
Section 3. Trap at Jumbo.
There is literally no time to rest on these political victories. The drums of war are beating, and a direct demonic invasion is imminent at a nearby highly populated city. With only 3 days to prepare for the beast demon Liogo, Lug makes this surprisingly brilliant move. He actually buys up the land in Jumbo. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would he buy real estate right before an invasion? Well, he knows the city is going to be completely destroyed in the crossfire. By buying the land, he secures the financial future of the evacuated civilians, so they actually have the means to rebuild their lives later. It's just this profound act of compassion from a guy who used to operate purely as a cold, calculating tool. It really shows how much he's grown.
And let me tell you, that meticulous preparation pays off explosively. Lug and Tart absolutely unleash magical devastation against Leojill. It's this chaotic, high-stakes confrontation where the survival of the entire region is literally hanging by a thread. The sheer raw magical energy they throw into this fight is nothing short of breathtaking.
I will stop his movement with Wind Cage and trap him with Ice Prison. The urgency in his voice during this strategy is just breathless. It turns out, Mina deliberately hid Liegel's true, overwhelming strength from Lug. Realizing the intense danger they're in, Lug aggressively takes the vanguard himself. He puts his own life right on the line to protect his retainers from this massive, physically superior monster.
Section 4. A Friend's Dark Descent.
As the magical dust finally settles on the devastated battlefield of Jambol, the hard-fought victory is instantly overshadowed by a haunting, totally unexpected arrival. Nayose. He was once this noble, upstanding swordsman, a trusted friend to Luch. But now, he steps onto the battlefield radiating this unnatural, deeply dark miasma. He's wearing this arrogant, chilling grin that just doesn't belong on his face. The hero we knew is fundamentally changed, and entirely for the worse.
This really brings us to the emotional core of the whole conflict, Lug's evolution versus Nayosha's descent. Think about it. We have a former emotionless assassin who is now actively fighting to retain his humanity, going completely out of his way to protect innocent civilians, both financially and physically. Contrast that starkly against a once noble knight who has entirely forsaken his morality simply to grasp sheer, corrupting power. It's a complete role reversal.
The bitter jealousy is absolutely palpable when Nais declares, "I will prove here and now that I am no longer stuck chasing behind Lug." Wow, his intense, one-sided rivalry has completely shattered his noble spirit, allowing the darkness to just fully take hold. It is a really heartbreaking confrontation between two wildly different paths of power.
Which leaves us with this exact chilling warning pulled straight from the author's afterword of Volume 4. A threat separate from the demons will bear its fangs. I mean, if demons and corrupted friends aren't the only dangers out there, who or what is coming next for Lug Tuatha Dé? I guess I'll leave you to theorize on that one. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.
Plot capsule.